trying to escape from the curses I was born to break. Finding a way to overcome my fears. I am strong enough. There might be some bumpy roads ahead, but I'm equipped. I've learned some great lessons. The power lies in me. Now I see so clearly. All my steps are destined. I'm going in the right direction. Gotta keep believing in myself. Gotta keep going, don't give up. Yes, I'm gonna see this through. Yeah, I put my trust in you. The only way out is to go within. Now I see you're my best friend. Yes, I finally found my peace. I know that I can trust in me. It's a blessing that I've come this far. 'Cause when you feel alone, I know it can get hard. But I'm choosing gratitude, grace, love, and peace. You're always with me. All my steps are destined. I'm going in the right direction. Yeah. Gotta keep believing in myself. Gotta keep going, don't give up. Yes, I'm gonna see this through. Yeah, I put my trust in you. The only way out is to go within. Now I see you're my best friend. Yes, I finally found my peace. I know that I can trust in me. I am connected to a love that never runs out. I am connected to a source that never runs out. I am connected to a love that never runs out. I am connected to a source that never runs out. I am connected to a love that never runs out. I am connected to a source that never runs out. I am connected to a love that never runs out. I am connected. I gotta keep believing in myself. Gotta keep going, don't give up. Yes, I'm gonna see this through. Yeah, I put my trust in you. The only way out is to go within. Now I see you're my best friend. Yes, I finally found my peace. I know that I can trust in me. Believing in myself. Gotta keep going, don't give up. Yes, I'm gonna see this through. Yeah, I put my trust in you. The only way out is to go within. Now I see you're my best friend. Yes, I finally found my peace. I know that I can trust in me.
Good evening, wherever you guys are located or wherever you are. It is wonderful to have you with me this evening. As we know, Bishop is still yet recovering. He's doing well. He is watching your messages. So please continue to send messages because those messages are being read. And if you actually send him a direct message in Facebook or Instagram, we are also making sure those messages are relaying to him. Thank you for tuning in tonight. It is a wonderful, beautiful evening, and we want to make sure that we keep you guys tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to something that will change and bless your soul. Tonight, We have, of course, Dr. Michael Beckwith. He was able to leave a message, and then we also have a message. And sooner or later, it won't be long before he taps in, tunes in, and be able to come live and be able to read and see the messages. Of course, he has a really busy schedule, but um, hopefully, before too long, you will also be able to hear and see from Bishop. He will also send messages. I'm not sure if you guys seen the last message that he sent you. As you notice, of course, he's lost a little weight, but he's still in good spirits, and he will get his appetite back up and be back in the saddle. It's probably one of the most toughest things he's ever been through, but he's a very, very, very tough individual, as we all know. And I'm here to witness and to say that he's recovering and he's going to come out rebirthed to something anew. I promise you. You're going to see something explosive, something amazing. So keep your prayers going. Keep seeing what we want to believe that's already done, right? So you see what's already done, and we see him back on the show. We see new things and greater things to come. Tonight, I would like to also welcome someone that you probably know and you've heard this her music on this show. Of course, you've probably heard her music throughout her life and anything to do with Bishop, of course. And maybe she can talk a little bit about her music and her show. And then we have a special message from Dr. Beckwith. And then we will move right into an amazing, amazing sermonette that I promise you, although he may not be here specifically live addressing you, I promise you, I sit there and watched it. And that is a moving, dynamic, amazing message. One thing Bishop told me today is that he's basically being coached by Dr. Beckwith. He's has been coached probably over the years, but I think there is something bubbling up that is going to rock the whole world in this generation, especially us that have been born and raised in the Azusa or around the Azusa era, the Pentecostal movements and things of that nature, and moving into another level of expanded or expansion of our consciousness. But, anyways, I would like to welcome, of course, to the stage Miss Majesty.
Hey, hey
What's
y'all.
up, Madge?
Surprise. I'm so grateful, Malachi. I'm so grateful to be joining you. You're doing such a great job and also standing in the gap and just helping to facilitate these shows. I'm excited. I'm in Chicago right now. Also, me and my mom are here. My dad was supposed to be here, scheduled to be at the Parliament of World Religions, which is an incredible organization taking place at the McCormick Place, an interfaith covenant conversations, if you will, all week. Panelists such as Michael Beckwith, who's also here, and Muzi Cindy, a good friend of Dad's as well, who has the book Jesus in the Digital Age. So it's just been great vibes, and I'm encouraged to see a lot of what ministers like Michael Beckwith and Dad, a lot of what they've been what they've been warriors of and gatekeepers of, to see it really taking place in just such a big communicative like arena, if you will. It's just been crazy. So I'm happy to be here and excited for tonight. I'm excited.
Absolutely. You brought up Muzi Cindy, and Muzi is, of course, someone that is definitely, I was scheduled to be there. But one of the things I will say is I know for a fact we're probably going to do something real special for him because we were scheduled, we were going to be doing lives and different things like that with him for Jesus in the digital age, which is
Yes.
completely different than what a person may understand. And so, you guys
Mhm.
stay tuned for Muzi Cindy, which Jesus in the digital age. You can see his post. He's online, so that's someone that you can definitely tap in and tune in and look up.
Mhm.
And one thing I don't want to forget 100% is right here below. Boop, there we go. Thank you for tuning in. Let's cash up, help keep this going. This is $ New Dimensions 2. This is something that he's not putting me up to it. He's not putting Madge up to it. This is just something that I'm doing because I know how it is in
Mhm.
terms of him running this ministry. I'm a person that I like business. I do business, and Bishop is been in the church, so he's not a strong money asker, even though there's been a lot of people that do that in the church. And so he will give everything away. And so right
Yes.
here, don't forget new dollar sign, new dimensions to on the Cash App. And also, I will not let you guys get away, but also there's people that want to send letters
Yes.
and they want to send snail
Letters.
mail.
Read them.
There's the P.O. Box that's also New Dimensions, 8263 South Harvard Avenue, Suite 515, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74137. We are working on other ways for you guys to be able to donate. I have ways already set up for him to do a membership program and everything else once he's ready. And so, without further ado, man, do you have anything else before we go ahead and allow Dr. Beckwith to present his
I
message to us?
I think we're ready to go, guys. Thank you all again for tuning in all over the world, all over the nation, for just being so consistent. Although Dad's presence isn't here, we are, we're here for him. And so let's get right into it. One of his closest friends, one of my mentors, his mentors, and your mentor, Mr. the one and only Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. Here he goes.
Yes. The first message we're going to see is a message that him addressing you guys directly. And then we'll follow up with a wonderful, beautiful message for him that you don't want to miss. I promise you. You don't want to miss this. Most likely you haven't seen it.
Let's
So,
get into it. Here we go.
called to do what God has called him to do. And so we're in the process of hope
no,
with him and the dynamic realization
you guys let
God
me know.
consciousness,
Did
everything is possible. And so we're blessing
no sound?
the
Okay, I
church
got you.
professionals, his family, and holding him in this space so that he continues to grow from a glory to an even greater glory. We're also holding in prayer anyone who is going through any
Bear with me. Let me get
whether it
that
be a physical
working here.
challenge, whatever the challenge may be. We know right here and right now that the power of the
We'll stop
Spirit
it.
can regenerate and renew.
So I'm getting reports that there's no sound. Still no sound. There was sound and then sound. Let me reset it real quick. Try one more time. It was working. And you guys, yeah, please on the side tell me if you have sound.
That I'll let you know more about later. Pray to an even greater glory. Yes. We're also holding in prayer anyone who is going through any challenge, whether it be a physical challenge, whatever the challenge may be. We know right here and right now that the power of the Spirit can regenerate and renew. And that's what we're holding for all of you who may be going through challenges, and particularly right now, our brother Carlton Pearson. So it is my joy. I'll be flying back to Tulsa, Oklahoma in a couple of weeks. I have a couple of more stops that I have to do, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to spend some time with him. And we're in the process of putting together some powerful healing modalities that I believe will assist him in his recovery. There's something called total auto infusion that I'll let you know more about later. There's some other things, some stem cell technologies. There's some wonderful things that I'm going to bring to the table. But most important is prayer. You know, prayer changes things. Real prayer is not begging and beseeching. It's real prayer is having a realization that what you are asking for, you already have. And Carlton has a powerful community of people holding him in prayer, people that love him. And he has within him a resilient spirit. We're going to activate that with prayer. And I'm going to obviously bring some other things to the table and some other things that he knows about that he wants to bring to the table. So we're going to make a difference in his life because he's made a difference in so many individuals' lives. So I encourage you, those who have been following him on his Instagram Live on Tuesday nights, many of you have been obviously giving donations, buying badges. You've been supporting him. Continue to do so now more than ever. Continue to step up to the plate and financially assist in bringing forth that which is necessary for the next step of his spiritual unfoldment. And so, with that, it is my joy to offer a presentation that I recently did at the Agape International Spiritual Center. I hope it is uplifting, inspiring for all of you to become more yourselves, more authentic, more awake, more alive, more infused with the Christed energy within you. And then watch as your life continues to unfold and glow for God as we hold our brother Carlton in prayer and his family as he's growing through this particular challenge. We'll have more updates shortly. Have a bright moment and listen to this. And remember, continue to donate as you normally do. Have a bright day, bright evening, bright afternoon, whatever time zone you may be in. God is blessing you, and you're now receiving it. Have a beautiful moment.
Wow.
There we go.
Moment.
Hopefully, everybody, we finally got that thing to actually work and get some sound there.
Thank you for getting it going. We might have missed a few seconds of it, but we got the gist of it. And that was so beautiful and sweet to see. I hope you all are encouraged to know that all around the world, we are teaming up to support this man. I've watched him personally as his daughter, sow and give and break down barriers and sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice and sow. So to be getting this back in this time, like he said, now more than ever is so sweet. And we're, of course, not just talking about money, but just the voice messages. He may not be able to take everyone's call, but the letters, we're reading. And you can always look back and look at some of his sermons and see, how he's already poured into us. He serves at All Souls Unitarian Church, so you can look at some of his old sermons there. He's got the YouTube, right, Malachi? And of course, a lot of his Tuesday night lives are on his Instagram. So for those of you all who don't follow him, go ahead and follow him, and you can get caught up on what he's already been doing. So, y'all can hear the sound. We again apologize for that. And we can play that again, Malachi, perhaps at the end after we hear Mr. Beckwith's sermon, just so you guys can catch the full moment. And yeah, I'll turn it over to you. You want to introduce the sermon?
What we'll do is most likely we can just upload that message,
Yeah, it's a great
that
idea.
way, then they can
Perfect.
actually get that message. And so no, it's ready to go.
Okay, perfect. Let's do that. That's good. Okay, well, here we go. Let's see what's next. Shout out to Agape if any.
Just let me know if you guys get to make sure you have sound.
Ray Davis.
Oh, it's just me. I don't know what happened.
Marianne Lewis. This is our Agape International Choir Ensemble.
Still no sound. Let me try. I'm gonna try this one more again. This software we're doing something that I haven't really done before, and so I believe you can hear me now. Can you hear me? Check 1 2. Okay, you can hear me. Good. Yes, make sure you type into the comments so that I know that you guys can actually hear. Of course, I know you can hear my audio. It's just different whenever we start this. When I start this video, we're gonna try this one more time. So sorry, software. Let's see here. Try this another way real quick, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me trying to make this software work. I'm supposed to be able to come in here. All right. Here we go. Come on. He's knocking up. I'm gonna try this one more time. Hopefully, I can get this to actually play right for us, guys. Bear with me. All right, here we go. We're gonna try it one more time with this.
Ray Davis, Ray Davis, Nikki Harris from the Gene Harris progeny, Agape House Band, Cal Bennett, Curtis Bird, David Neal, Andre Barry, Mitch Foreman, Christian Klikowitz, under the direction of Marianne Lewis. This is our Agape International Choir Ensemble, reminding us to, I shall not rest until I rest in thee, O Lord, O great law of emergence, law of the universe. We're resting in the evolutionary impulse that governs the unfoldment of our individual. There is more than a spark of divinity within us. All of our entire life is divine. And we are here to set it on fire, that we may live on this planet as true beings of power, beings of divine joy,
infinite intelligence, compassion, kindness, generosity, beauty, and more than the surface mind can ever comprehend. Please give our music ministry some love and appreciation. And everyone that has graced the platform up to this moment, let us turn around and wave at those who are streaming in from all around the globe, over 85 countries, tuning in with us now and in the future as they wake up from wherever they are, whatever time zone they're in. They'll tune into Agape and they'll see you waving at them saying, we see you and we feel you. This is the day the Lord has made, as scripture would say, commanding us to rejoice in it. That is the spiritual practice, to rejoice in the spirit of the living God, and that the whole thing is open through rejoicing and praising of the Spirit. Pray and praising of the Spirit that we may become more and never less than our true self. This month we have been working with the theme, as you can tell, for those of you who are here for the first time, to be revolutionaries of love, and coming to an understanding that to be a revolutionary of love, that this is our moment. That during a time in human history when there's such a curating of hate and separation and polarization and the rising tide of racism and bigotry and homophobia and things of that particular nature, that the true revolutionaries on the planet are those that can hold the frequency and the vibration of love even when it's not popular. And that is to embrace each other regardless of whether one is agreement with a particular stand or ideology or things of that particular nature, because at the end of the day, none of that matters. At the end of the day, when we arrive on planet Earth, we are arriving on planet Earth to perfect our loving, you see. And so when you leave the planet, many people are gonna look back and realize they were sweating over small stuff, arguing over limited points of view and opinions and positionalities and perspectives and perceptions, and they forgot the whole plot. The whole plot is to perfect one's loving. And some people get so entangled with their limited belief systems. That's why belief system and BS have the same letters, you know. They get so entangled with their limited belief systems that they forget the plot, the book, the story. They forget the main character, which is the God presence flowing through them. They forget everything and get caught up in the conundrum of separation from the presence of God and live a life almost that's meaningless. They get caught up in materialism. They get caught up in being rightism. They get caught up in getting moreism. They get caught up in all the things that pull the mind into a lesser focus and forget to discover that there's a power within us that can heal anything. There's a power within us that can bring forth ways out of no ways. There's a power within us that allow us to curate that which we would call the miracles in our life, out of seeming doom and gloom, out of lack and loss and limitation, out of all manner of challenges. There is something within us, as it is written, that he and she and the presence and the power that is within you is greater than the power that's in the world, you see? And we are here to discover that, and not just to believe it, not to just remain believers about it. It is beautiful to have a book on yourself and to believe what it says, but the next level is to actually have an insight and a revelation through spiritual practice that you go beyond believing it, you actually feel it in your heart. You actually walk and talk with it. It actually becomes real to you, so that you're anchoring the realm of ever-expanding good, which is another name for heaven, on earth, as it is an expanded perception of heaven until earth becomes heaven. So being a revolutionary of love is to be a true revolutionary at this time in human history, when it becomes so easy to hate, so easy to separate, so easy to come into fear and worry and be right about something. You are coming into the awareness as a revolutionary of love. You'd rather be in alignment with truth than to be right about anything. Being right is an ego perception. Being in alignment is a heart perception. You want to be in alignment with the presence of God. And so, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, one of the communities that rose up during a time of war was the folkloric movement that birthed out of the movement of these young people saying, as bombs were going everywhere in their country, what is it that lasts? And they said the only thing that lasts is love. And out of that came the Focolare movement. We stand in that same frequency. Agape International Spiritual Center. The only thing that lasts is love, when that love is activated within our heart. So today, the topic is simply, you have been summoned. You have been summoned by life itself to fill the void of seeming polarity that you see in the world. Now, what does that mean? In capital R reality, in the mystical awareness of unity and oneness, polarity does not exist. It exists in the manifest realm, but it does not exist in the absolute. There's only one God, one power, one presence, one love, one life. It is everywhere. It is unified with itself, never compromises itself, never contradicts itself, never works against itself, never sabotages itself. It is what it is. It is always what it is. It is what it is. And it always is what it is. In the realm of the manifest, we can look at what is called polarity. It looks like the pair of opposites, yin and yang. It looks like the pair of opposites, you see? But in reality, it is a positive and a void, a positive and a negative. A negative does not exist. It means something's not there, you see? So you have something and a no thing. You are called, you are summoned to, when you see hate, and you see disrespect, you see injustice, you see the curation of lack and limitation, that means something is absent there. Doesn't mean something is there. It means something is not there. Now, nature abhors a vacuum, which means you have been summoned to fill that vacuum with love and peace and harmony and wholeness. So you have to ask yourself, what are you summoning? What are you summoning? And you have to stand in deep and abiding awareness that you are to summon the strength to love. You are to summon the strength to be generous, to be creative. You are to summon the strength to be more yourself. You are to summon the strength with the awareness that you have what you need. Now, how can I say that? Because metaphysically, mystically, you have everything that you need. It's already within you. And need means, this is what need means. Need means that there is a potential within you that needs to be activated. So you don't need anything outside of yourself. You need the activation of what you already have. So you have to summon the strength to say, I have what I need. Let it be activated now. I have what I need. Let it flow now. I have what I need. Let it express now. So you stand in that dynamic awareness of, I have been summoned by life to be able to look for the places that are voided of the presence, that I may stand in the gap there and allow my frequency and my vibration to fill that void, that vacuum, you see. And in so doing, you come to an awareness that hate is not an absence of love. Hate is the absence of love, because hate is not a power. It's an absence of the only power that there is, you see. Now that's pure mysticism. Oneness, unity, one God. God does not have an absent. God does not have an opposite. If God had an opposite, we would all be being afraid of the devil or something like that. But we're not, because the devil does not exist, because there's no opposite to God. And if it did exist, it would be in the confines of the presence of God as a deep and an abiding whole, an infinite lack by which more and more and more and more and more and more of the presence could be realized. Take a class and come to understand that. Now, and so as you are standing in the gap of being summoned, just say, I'm summoned by the all good. I'm answering the summon to be my greatest self. I'm answering the summon to live a life of excellence, peace, joy, and wisdom, prosperity, health, and compassion. I'm answering the summons today. And now we're standing with the awareness of what am I summoning? Now this is very important, because the surface mind has a bias towards negativity. Now, it's not your fault. You turn on the news, there's going to be a bias towards, if it bleeds, it leads. It's going to be a bias towards negativity. It's going to be a bias towards the worst case scenarios. It's going to be a bias towards everything that you can be afraid of, and it's going to be backed by music at 11. And it's going to pull you into the dynamic of everything that could go wrong in your life. And so the mind becomes has a bias towards that which is negativity. You see? And what you are doing as I state in my podcast, as you take back your mind, as you begin to do spiritual practices on a regular basis, you start to have a bias towards beauty and love and possibility. You start to have a bias for the miracle. You start to wake up looking for a miracle. You start to look around every corner to see what good is about to come. And there's a light hitting your direction. It's not a train. It's the Christ of your own being emerging through you. You see, you start to have a different kind of bias for life. And then in so doing, you understand the power of choice. You see, choice is a function of ever expanding awareness. But here's the deal. Every choice that you make, from fear, from anger, from convenience, from deceit, haunts you later on in life. It creates a shadow that shows up in your life, even when you choose good things from time to time. But if you're choosing from fear, then you are limiting the frequency of that choice. And since your frequency is the currency by which you move forward in life, you begin to have a shadow effect on your choices. This is why we have a spiritual practice that stands tall in gratitude, thanksgiving, and appreciation, so that we keep choosing from the higher vibration and the higher frequency that contains no shadow of turning, it doesn't haunt us later in life. Even that choice is hard. Sometimes you have to choose to let things go that no longer serve you. Sometimes you have to choose to walk in a direction that is difficult, because you know you're going to have to grow and develop and unfold and change. You're going to have to change habits. You're going to have to change conversations. You're going to have to change people. You see? But when you choose from, oh my God, this is what I get to be. You're choosing from, oh my God, I see what God sees in me. You choose from, oh my God, there's infinite possibilities around me. I'm overjoyed about the possibilities of my life. When you choose from that expanded space, then beyond your mental perception, beyond your human experience, you open up to that part of you that knows everything without experience. There is a part of you called God, pure spirit, that knows without experience. It knows without your figuring out mind. It will lead, guide, and direct you in a language and in a way that you can understand if you yield to it. And if you summons that kind of strength from within your own self, wake up every single day and say, I'm summoning prosperity. I'm summoning good health. I'm summoning good friendships. I'm summoning joy in my life. And then you add this. You no longer become embarrassed at your joy. This is important. This is important. Because, we've normalized fear, doubt, worry, separation, and angst, and trepidation, and we've normalized all of that. And so it's easy for people to say, I'm this, I'm lonely, I'm angry, I'm tired. I'm not saying that's not a part of the human condition, but sometimes you don't have to be embarrassed to say, I'm happy. You don't have to be embarrassed to say, I know there's a way out of this. You don't have to be embarrassed to say, there's a way out of no way. You don't have to be embarrassed to say, I'm feeling joy and I don't even know why. Now, here's the deal. When you are no longer embarrassed at being successful and happy and joyful, you are vibrationally holding a space for other people to rise up with you. You're not accepting an invitation to the pity party. You're not RSVPing to the pity party. You say, I know I was invited, but I can't go there. I got something else to do. I'm going to Agape. I'm going to watch Agape on YouTube. I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to get with a prayer partner, and we're going to go deep. And we're going to come to a heavy bias about possibility. Yes, hey. And then you begin to understand this will save you a lot of time. This one of the greatest time wasters is trying to change another person. First of all, they will resist change. If you know, somebody wrote into the Take Back Your Mind podcast. They were asking about some of their family members and friends as they have shifted and grown and developed spiritually, and they were trying to figure out how they can help change them, bring them to a higher order. I said, you can't do it. I said, listen. It says scripturally, you can't cast pearls before swine. Now, I ain't calling people pigs. Don't get me wrong. That's reserved for another part of the society that sometimes play ignorance. But listen, you understand. Not all of them, just a few. Now, why? Because if you kind of give a pig a pearl, it's going to be kind of upset. It wants garbage, okay? So, casting pearls before swine, it says it will turn and rend you, meaning it will take what you share and work against you. So if you try to go to somebody, you tell them about your spiritual practice and your spiritual community. As soon as they see you fall or get angry or something, or say, it's not working for you. You got upset at so-and-so yesterday. They will take what you said and use it against you. And so the pig represents unreceptive consciousness. You don't try to give something to an unreceptive consciousness. So if they ask you a question, why are you smiling? Why are you happy? Why are you meditating? Why are you reading that book? Why are you taking that class? Now they're receptive. Now you can share, but you can't share before that. Now, you can't change anyone because no person can change another person. Let me tell you why. The only thing that changes an individual is illuminated truth. That's the only thing that changes somebody. It's truth. When truth hits somebody and they hear it and they're receptive to it, it changes them. Now, that truth may come out of your mouth. Like the people that were sharing about myself in agape, that wasn't, they caught an illuminated truth that was coming through me. It hit them and they said, oh, I got to start spirit awakening. I got to become a better man. I got to become greater dad. I got to become a greater lover. You see? It was illuminated truth that did it, not the person. Now, when a person tries to change another person, that's one illusion trying to change another illusion. Can you imagine an unenlightened psychiatrist trying to change somebody? That person will be on the couch for 30 years. Because there has to be illuminated truth. Now, if the therapist is illuminated, it doesn't even matter what their technique is. If they're illuminated, then their silence and their questioning and their focus will carry illuminated truth, and it will hit the other person, and the other person will begin to change because of the truth that is within them. So don't try to change anybody. That's called a time waster. What you do is you become so you. You no longer become embarrassed about your joy and happiness. You no longer become embarrassed about your expansion. You no longer become embarrassed about your moving and growing and unfolding and shining the light and having a level of joy even when it is difficult. We're not saying that life is not full of challenges. It is, you see, but challenges activate the potential that is within us. It pulls out something that is latent within us. No one in here has gone through life without suffering some kind of loss. No one is in here has gone through life without someone making their transition. No one in here has not lost money or something being stolen or something like that. But out of that seeming loss, if one places their attention on that part of them that is never hurt, harmed, or endangered in any way, and that becomes more real than anything, then out of the seeming loss, you shall be given back what the locusts have eaten fully and completely. Oh, I'm trying to tell you something this morning. You have been summoned to be lovers. Now, when you understand that you have come here to perfect your loving, and you start to mature in your loving, two things happen. One, you no longer objectify people. You no longer just say, I love them, but I don't love them. You just love to love. And anyone that comes in your atmosphere, you love whether you like them or not. We're not talking like. Like's a little difficult. I met some human beings that were very difficult to like. I remember Kathy Mack and I were out one night going to the movies, and these guys behind us called me every N-word in the book. And Kathy Mack was like, "Do they still do that?" I said, "Yeah, you know, I've been black a long time and it's still happening." You know, I didn't like the guys, but I would not allow them to shrink my awareness into hate. I wouldn't allow them to shrink my awareness. It's just like, I'm not even going to respond to that ignorance. I'm going to go in my parking space, join my movie, and have a good time. You know. Anyway, there's people you don't like for whatever reason, but don't give them the power to shrink your heart. You see. So if we don't objectify, we just love to love, and then you become aware of something else. You never fall out of love. You either choose to go into the deep water or you stay in shallow water. Just like you can't fall out of a swimming pool. You just choose to stay in shallow or you go in deep. So when you're in love, sometimes that deep water is forgiveness. Sometimes that deep water is compassion. Compassion is the understanding of the lack of understanding. So you go deep into the deep water. If you try to get out of the pool or you try to think you're falling out of love, then you close your heart. So all that you can do is keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. Again, this is not giving you an assignment to hang out with people that don't like you, or people you don't like, or people that are way out of bounds in terms of their actions. But give no one the power to close your heart. No one. Give no one that power. Give no one that power. And then we rise up as individuals and as a community that holds a frequency that is necessary at this time in human history. When the whole world is trying to pull your mind into wars and rumors of wars and choosing sides and being all you can be by picking up a weapon and things of that particular nature. No. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do it. Take back your mind. Hold your heart and stand in an ever-increasing awareness that there's a power, the greatest power on the planet, greatest power of the universe that we know right now is love. The total givingness of the Spirit without any withhold, without any holding back. This is not sweet romanticism here. It's not sentimentality. It's a power, you see, of true love. I always remember this story that was told. It was retold by Ram Dass. And Ram Dass tells the story of this magnificent, well, the original story was told by the person that it happened to, and then Ram Dass tells the story very well. And he tells the story of this magnificent individual who had become a martial artist and jiu-jitsu and judo and a number of different arts. And obviously he was taught to not get in a fight, to always avoid that, to find a way to use his art and his consciousness to not have any conflict. But secretly, he was hoping that one day, legitimately, he could kick somebody's butt. Okay? He was like in the back of his mind, he said, somebody would just give me the reason. You know? And so one day he's on the train, I think it was in New York. And he's on the train, and this big guy comes in, and he was smelling of alcohol, and he was knocking people down. He actually pushed down a pregnant woman, and he said, "Oh, here's my opportunity. Here it is." And so he looked at the guy, and the guy was snarling and like moving people around, and he blew a kiss at him. And the guy was mad, and he started to walk toward the guy, and the guy said, "Well, I'm ready. I'm going to let him throw the first punch, but I got this." And right when the guy was about to do something, this voice went, "Hey, hey!" It was a small Japanese man sitting on a bus. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" And the guy turns around, "Huh?" He said, "You smell like sake. You like sake? I like sake. Come sit down." So the guy comes and sits down next to the guy and he says, "How you doing?" And the guy says, "My wife died and I lost my job and I hate myself." And the guy says, "I understand. Why don't you come to my house for dinner tonight?" And, the guy is telling the story, says that was the greatest demonstration of martial arts he had ever seen. Love triumphed over violence, you see. Now, we're all called to find our place in this world in which the old is breaking up and the new is emerging. Everybody can't do everything. Do you realize that even with all the protests that were going on in the civil rights movement in South Africa, present moment, there were people that were filing legal briefs. There were people that were teaching people how to march and to stay in prayer. There were people that were praying for people. There were people that were cooking dinners. Everybody had something to do. Everybody wasn't on the street marching. Everybody had something to do to hold the vision of the world that we want to live in and to hold the frequency of love. You have to find your place in the changing that's trying to happen in this world. But whatever you do, whether you are an attorney filing legal briefs, whether you're cooking dinner for those who are having meetings in their living rooms. We used to have those meetings in my house with my mom. She was part of the civil rights movement. And we had meetings in the living room, and people had to cook dinner, and people had to pray, people had to strategize, etc. Whatever you're called to do, you cannot leave love out of the picture. Because you don't want to build a world with love. Just think about it. If you got everything you wanted in the world, but you didn't have any love, that'd be a terrible world that you would curate. And I've known some of those people. They got everything they wanted in the world. All the money, the fame, everything. But did not have that deep sense of self-love and appreciation, supreme confidence in a presence that is more real than the very chairs you're sitting on. You have been summoned today. You have been summoned by the presence. So when you look at the world, you hear, "Judge not according to appearances." And you see the voids, not the opposites. You see the absences, and you ask, how can I feel that void? Sometimes it might be just to pray. And I don't mean just to pray. We have a bevy of practitioners. They don't just pray. They have a realization that God is there. It's a whole other thing, you see. You find what you are to do. Some people are choreographing such great movement that when people see it, they have an insight into excellence. Some people are doing poetry that's changing lives. Some people are cooking a meal that make you want to slap your mama and your grandmama. Oh. Oh. It's like, oh, I want to be a better person. Have you ever tasted Andy Stevenson's food? Oh my God. Anyway, everyone take a breath with me here. I just want anything to get to you. Just any little thing. So let's go back to this. Oh, I just heard Che Guevara. Che Guevara one time said, "To this I must confess. The true motivation of a revolutionary is love." You see, Che Guevara. The true revolutions at this time are not those who are walking around with guns or trying to change the world by violence or just trying to change the world according to what they think and leaving everyone else out except for people who look like them. The true revolutionaries are those that love, that embrace everyone, whatever stage of development they may be in, that we may hold a space that everyone may rise and have an awareness of that which is within them is the same thing that's within everyone. And then to feel the summons on our heart
And then today, strength within us, the vibrational frequency within us that is calling forth that which is invisible and indivisible, calling it forth as it is, as it already is. Speak it into existence. I have the strength. I have the capacity of love. I have the capacity for brilliance. I have the capacity for abundance and prosperity. I have the capacity to be healthy and joyful. You summons it from within yourself. Have a bias towards that which is beautiful. A bias, look for it, you see. Don't be embarrassed about your joy at all. Don't waste your time trying to change anyone else. Change yourself, change your perception. And then you will be a true revolutionary. And you may not be a celebrity. You may not be on the front page, because most of the time, many of these people that are trying to get on the front page, they get on the front page for doing something stupid. I mean, it's become so fame-oriented that people will do silly things just to get some likes. That's the denigration of the being that we are. We're spiritual beings, and we want to be liked for stupidity. There's so many places I could go here, but I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. No. You want to be known by the presence, as when the presence of God looks into the mirror of your soul, the presence of God sees its own reflection shining back as infinite potential. You want to be known as an individual that's activating potential, because you don't want to waste it. That's going to haunt you. Most people are haunted by what they didn't go for, what they didn't try, not for what they failed at. Failure comes with the game. We're all going to fail at something. Anything you try for the first time, you generally don't do it well. Anything you try, you don't do it well the first time. You're going to fall, you're going to fail. So you don't not go for something because you think you're going to fail or people are going to talk about you. I'm going to tell you something right now. People are going to talk about you whether you fail or succeed. If you fail, they're going to talk about you. If you succeed, they're going to say, oh, look at her. Who does she think she is? She's got a nice house. She's healthy. She's happy. She thinks she's the image and likeness of God. That's who she thinks she is. So they're going to talk about you anyway. So you might as well go for excellence. And don't care what people say. Only care about what your heart is cultivating within you. You have been summoned for excellence and to excellence, to live an excellent life. Go for it. Say yes to it. Shine it. Live it. Dance it. Celebrate it. Feel it in your bones. You are the only you that will ever exist. There will never be another you. If you don't do you, you won't be done. You've got to do you. You've got to express and activate your potential. Fail 1,000 times, but 1,001, oh, you'll rise. You'll rise. You'll rise. You will rise. You have been summoned by the presence of excellence to live a fulfilled life. Oh my God. That's the original OMG. Woo! Oh my God. Let us pray together. You know, you stand, let's start standing and then sit. Let's start standing. Let's just take a confident stand. Stand in the feeling tone of confidence. Capital S, self-centeredness. The supreme self. Be centered in the supreme self. And feel like you're somebody just now, whatever your secret prayer is, a dream that you have, maybe you haven't told anybody, but there's something in you that you really want to demonstrate. You really want to bring into manifestation.
Just feel right now that it's just happened. Feel right now it's just happened right now. Mm-hmm. And feel that somebody just told you something. Oh, that made you feel so good. Oh my God. God, I've been waiting to hear that all my life. Ooh, just feel that that's happened right now. Stand with that kind of frequency right now. Just stand with that. You've been summoned into this vibration. Whew. Bring your hands together in that prayerful mudra and feel the deep sense of gratitude and thanksgiving and dynamic appreciation right now. You have agency over your own awareness, and you can now feel gratitude and thanksgiving for no reason whatsoever. Or you can create a reason. Somebody just told you something magnificent. Whatever you were trying to demonstrate, you have demonstrated. It's happening now. You can be grateful for anything. Right? The body doesn't know whether it's happened or not. Your imagination is fired up. It's re-enchanted with it's already happened. And now you are providing a way out of no way vibrationally. Your frequency is your currency. Right, Trayvon? So we stop in this awareness with pure gratitude and thanksgiving. And we begin to recognize, we begin to recognize, oh, yes, we do, that there is a presence that is never in absence. And this presence is everywhere. Oh, we can call it God. We can call it love, beauty, intelligence. We can call it life. We can call it the source of all creation. We can call it forth right now as the activity of our awareness and recognize it everywhere. God is everywhere. God is in the ground, in the grass, pushing its way through the cement. God is in that liver that's healing itself right now. God is in that heart that is creating new cells. Oh my God, God is in that new brain cells that are developing, and people who thought they had lost their brain cells are now coming back right now. God, life is coming forth, is harmonizing prosperity where there was a little seeming loss. The presence of God is showing up. We're recognizing it right now. And we're feeling so one with this presence. We're not blaspheming the presence of God by saying we're one with God. No, we hear Mother Mary saying, my soul does magnify the Lord. We're magnifying it. We're not blaspheming it. The only way you can blaspheme God, which you can't, because God can't take offense to anything, would be to try to limit God. Don't lie. Don't lie. God is everywhere, including where you are. And so we stand in this awareness of our oneness with the presence. And as I begin in carrying the vibration of this community, I speak the word for each and every one of us now, knowing that our life is the life of God, and that this divine life is moving through us in such a way that every organ, action, and function of our body temple is made every whit whole, that our mental body is clear, that our emotional body is so pure, that our physical body reflects and reveals the fundamental order of the universe, that our body of affairs reflect and reveal the order of the cosmos. It's all happening now. When?
Beautiful.
Oh, it's happening now. And so it is. Wow, that was packed. That was jam-packed. Thank you. We love you, Reverend Michael Beckwith. I saw you guys. We were commenting in there and just, I'm so reinvigorated. My gosh. That is, the frequency is your currency. I was taking notes. Your frequency is your currency. How to be revolutionary. Just reactivating, recentering to our supreme self, activating if we've, if we've never tried something, or if we need to release something, just realigning. That was rich. And I'll make sure I post that link so you guys can watch that again, or if you are just tuning in. But wow, we are at the close. We thank you guys. I thank you guys personally. Dad is sending his love, and he'll be checking in and sending a video soon, just so you all can see him and know that he is progressing, and he's really truly a warrior. And Wow, incredible. That was so deep. We are summoned. We are each called, and answering that call that's what we're here for. No one can do you like you. That's it. Love you guys so much. Peace and blessings. Again, if you want to sow, the Cash App is New Dimensions. Of course, $ New Dimensions, New Dimensions 2. So, yeah, feel free to send letters in. Okay, the New Dimensions, the Cash App's down there. Send your letters. We love them. They're handwritten, the cards, the checking in. Thank you guys. And yeah, we'll stay tapped in. Next week, we probably got a great something we're whipping up, and probably got another surprise. I feel like we do. I just sense it. But thank you guys again. We love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Continue to activate, reactivate, recenter. Know that you are summoned, you are called, you are connected to the source, the infinite source, and you are loved. Let's be love. Take care. Bye.